Imagine two buttons in front of you. One says, do the thing you already know you can do. The other says, try the harder version, where you might look confused, slow, or wrong. Most people say they want to grow, but in the moment, the first button can feel much safer. Not because you are lazy, because the second button risks something deeper than a bad result. It risks the thought, maybe I am not as smart, talented, or capable as people thought. That is the moment this video is about, not the moment you fail. The moment before you even try, when a challenge stops looking like a place to learn and starts looking like a test of your worth. Psychologist Carol Dweck helped popularize two names for these ways of seeing challenge. A fixed mindset treats ability like something you either have or do not have, so the hard option feels like a threat. A growth mindset treats ability like something that can develop through practice, better strategy, feedback, and support. So the hard option can become useful information. The difference is simple. What does a mistake mean? Under the fixed lens, failure can sound like not smart, not talented, not good enough. Under the growth lens, the same failure can sound like this part is missing, this method did not work. This is where help can show me the next step. Same challenge, different meaning, different next move. One simple example is a child with two choices. Repeat a puzzle they already know, or try a harder one they have never solved before. Some children choose the safe puzzle, not because they hate learning, but because the harder puzzle might make them look wrong. Other children want the harder one because the challenge itself feels like the point. That same choice follows people into adult life. You pick the easy class to protect the grade. You avoid the project where you might look new. You stop practicing when progress stops looking impressive. You do not ask the question in the meeting because the question might show that you do not already know. Avoiding failure is not always laziness. Sometimes it is identity protection. This is why praise can become complicated. Being told you are smart can feel wonderful. But if smart becomes the thing you are, then every hard problem becomes a threat to that identity. If you need effort, maybe you are not smart. If you need help, maybe you are not talented. If you fail, maybe the label was fake. Research on praise has found a similar pattern. Children praised for intelligence can become more focused on showing they are smart. After a setback, they may persist less and enjoy the task less than children praised for effort. But this can be misunderstood too. Growth mindset is not about clapping for effort, no matter what happens. Effort matters when it leads to a better strategy, clearer feedback, or real learning. Here is a very human example. Imagine you get a low score in a class you care about. On the way home, you get a ticket. Then you walk into a messy room. You call a friend, and they barely respond. Through the fixed lens, the whole day starts to say one thing. I am failing. I am unlucky. Nobody understands me. Nothing works. So you shut down, distract yourself, blame someone, hide the grade, or take the anger out somewhere else. Through the growth lens, the day is still bad. Growth mindset does not pretend that a 6 out of 10 feels good. It just asks better questions. What did I misunderstand? Did my method fail? What should I review before the next test? The ticket means I need to pay more attention, not that the universe hates me. The messy room is a system I can clean up, not proof that my whole life is broken. The friend may have their own hard day, so maybe I can check in before turning it into rejection. The event did not change. The lens changed. The same pattern appears in school culture. If high scores mean smart and low scores mean stupid, students learn to protect the high score identity. The smart kid may start choosing easier tasks, not because they lack ability, but because easy tasks keep the label safe. Then, The first truly hard problem can feel like the end of the story. Maybe I was never gifted. Maybe I reached my limit. This is why the myth of natural talent is so powerful. We love the idea of the genius, the prodigy, the natural. But if success means natural talent, then struggle starts to mean the opposite. And once struggle means that, people stop using it as a teacher. At work, the fixed lens can look like defensiveness. A leader who needs to be the smartest person in the room may treat criticism as disrespect. A team may hide mistakes because mistakes are punished as character flaws. People start protecting status instead of improving the work. A growth lens does not remove standards. A mistake can still have consequences. But the question changes from who is bad to what did this show us? What process failed? What skill is missing? What support is needed? What should we try next? This is the part people often get wrong. Growth mindset is not blind positivity. It is not saying everyone is already brilliant. It is not saying great effort when nothing is being learned. And it is not pretending that effort alone can fix bad teaching, unfair systems, or lack of opportunity. A real growth mindset tells the truth about where you are, then keeps the door open for what can change. So here is the small experiment. The next time you fail at something that matters, pause before turning the result into a label. Write 3 short lines. First, the verdict my mind wants to give me. Maybe, I am not smart enough. Second, the signal this result is giving me. Maybe, I did not understand this part. Or, my method broke under pressure. Or, I need feedback before the next attempt. Third, the next strategy. Not a life transformation, just one next move. Review one mistake, ask one question, try one different method, practice one smaller piece, or talk to someone who can see what you missed. The point is not to make failure painless. The point is to stop giving failure more authority than it deserves. Because failure is not always a verdict. Sometimes it is just a red mark pointing to the next thing you can learn. What is one thing you avoid because failing at it would feel too personal?